2008 AC on a Honda CRV. So what do we have here? Customer complained, or not complained, but stated AC wasn't working. The husband found a belt off the air conditioning way down there, and it is 1 p.m. noon in San Francisco, and this is not clouds. This is from the fire in California. This is all the smoke. And I actually have to turn my light on to see in front of me because it's so dark out here. It looks like it's like 7 or 8 p.m. right now. But let's get back to this. All right, so the husband found the belt off. This is the information I'm getting from the service writer at the shop. And he threw another belt on there. Okay, so I came, the vehicle is dropped off here. I just arrived. The belt is missing. So he threw a belt on there and it's already off. Now, unfortunately, it's so dark and I don't have my powerful enough flashlight to see, but with my eyes I could see the clutch gap looks a little wide. There's rusty metal and the black paint is burnt. It's like it overheated. There's a certain color you get to the metal when the black paint on a pulley burns and on the clutch face. So I know it got really hot down there. Reached my hand down around, lifted. I got skinny arms. I could lift and sneak my hands in back there. I could grab with my fingertips and I could spin the compressor, no problem. But the clutch rocks back and forth on the bearing and is all grindy, so there's our problem. But is it because of the bearing? Just because you can spin the center shaft does not mean it did not lock up. You can have a smooth spinning shaft on a compressor, but it did lock up. Whether it locked up hydrostatically, whether it locked up and started slipping because of 400 psi pressure and the belt kept slipping and the pulley goes, the compressor shaft locks up so the plate stays still but the pulley still goes, and you start generating heat. Now over time, and you keep slipping and doing this repeatedly over and off again, on and off, on and off, the pulley gets so hot that that heat transfers to the bearing. The heat transfers to the bearing, gets the grease so hot, the grease starts coming out of the seals and starts flinging out, and you lose the grease. And then the bearings fail due to lack of grease, and you get a compressed. But the initial cause was internal from the compressor. But then the technician, it comes in all cooled off, it comes to the technician, he puts his fingers on there, he spins the shaft freely, he says, the compressor's okay, it is only a bearing shaft. Sometimes, yes, it is, but sometimes it could have been caused by overpressurization, or there is some mechanical interference inside, or lack of lubrication where, let's use a piston system for example. Pistons can get so hot they expand and they start seizing to the cylinder walls. It seizes up like a two-stroke cycle with not enough oil mixed with gas. It seizes up, then it starts slipping at the pulley, then it overheats, causes a bearing go out. It cools off, comes in, and it spins fine because the pistons cooled off, so the diameter got smaller, and then they move freely with no grinding feeling. You move it and it's nice and smooth. And you throw on a new clutch. You went through all that money, all that time, and you gave a set price for only a pulley bearing and only a pulley assembly. You start it back up, it works good, well, it's cool. Customer drives away, the system starts getting hot, the pressure starts going up. Now, metal to metal damage has already occurred. Some little metal particles and some piston ring material have already made its way to plug up part of the condenser, but it worked great on a cool day while you performed your repair. It looked good on the gauges. You send it out, it comes back with a seized compressor because the rest of the material has made it back to the condenser, plugged it up even more after it left your shop because the damage was already started in the compressor. But you already put on a new clutch, a new pulley, and with the bearing assembly and everything like that, and now it's coming back as a comeback. So you say, what can you do? How can you tell this? This is inside, you can't see. We don't have x-ray vision, we're not Superman. So either you tell the customer up front in advance, this can happen after you suffer this kind of failure. Sometimes this is what caused it initially. This is a symptom of the problem. It may have not been the initial problem. It may be a symptom of another problem. Maybe the fans did not work intermittently because an alternator was starting to go bad. The alternator is not bad.